Hey folks, Nas here with another All Alone series in No Man's Sky. So I've took about a week and a half off because I had family coming in town and stuff. Now granted, I pre-recorded some episodes, that way you guys didn't have a break in episodes. But I'm back now, and I know that I've been talking about in several episodes that we're going to build a base, going to build a base. And I hadn't done it. I kept doing other things because, well, they were fun. I just kept doing them. However, I have come across a planet. As you can see, there's crystals behind me, so it is a dissonant planet. It is a paradise planet. It has the gravitational anomalies or whatever, the anti-gravity anomalies or whatever. And I think it's a pretty decent planet. Of course, the sun's going down now, but we've got Starbolt nearby. Of course, we've got the radiant shards and stuff nearby. And of course, I'm at a harmonic camp. So I figured I might as well make a base somewhere. Why not do it at a harmonic camp on a paradise planet? This was one of the things I'd mentioned in one of the earlier videos that would be nice to have. There's no aggressive sentinels on this planet, which is really nice. And then also I have found memory stones. So this is one of those planets to where you can get the memory stones and you can see the ancient structures. I don't know if you can really see that because it's dark out, but that's one of those little ancient structures right there. Matter of fact, you can see the vigilant stone up there. It's got the fossil beds for the ancient bones and everything on it. So it's got a lot of stuff going on this one planet, and it's a paradise planet. So I can hunt ships. I can go and gather the memory stones. I can get ancient bones if I wanted to go that route and, you know, do the little statues and things like that, which would be neat for decorating bases and stuff. But anyway, it's like I need a base. I'm starting to outgrow the base on our first planet where I just kind of overtook a minor settlement. So it's crowded. I'm tripping over stuff inside. I want to kind of get a proper base going. That way we can go and get the other storage units and stuff and have them in a neat form where it's easy to walk around and access the storage and parking and all of that good stuff. So I did go and purchase a few building products, specifically the prefab stuff. Now, granted, they're pretty expensive as far as, you know, the materials that they use and what's available to me. Now, I do not have the nutrient processor yet, so gathering materials, I have to rely on the, what am I trying to think of? The multi-tool and the optical drill. So I've got it in a supercharged slot. It's normally, let me move that, put it down here. So the optical drill is normally 50% resources mined. If you put it in a supercharged slot, then it's 88% resources mined. So it goes up by 38%. Which is nice. It definitely gives you a whole lot more than not having it or just having the 50%. Plus we have the hijacked laser now in our Sentinel multi-tool. And of course we've got some upgrades going with that as well. So I'm gathering materials at an okay rate, but I don't have the nutrient processor to where I can make the foods to put in the, what is it, the little backpack that you put in your suit. I don't even think I have the technology. No, the nutrient ingester. That's what I'm trying to think of. So I don't have the nutrient ingester to put the meals in to give me the boost to materials mined. Now, I have very small storage limits and stuff in my storage anyway, so having 10 minutes of, you know, super duper resources mined, I would never use it for 10 minutes because I'd fill up all of my storages in no time. Now, granted, filling up all of my storages fast would be something I would want to do when I go out mining and things like that. Now, I have filled up my what is it? The Colossus I've been filling up with all of my, what I call dirt. I'm doing air quotes. I know you can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes with all of my dirt products. So let's go ahead and let's drop, kind of want to drop this out a little ways because I don't want it to interfere. Let's put it up there. I don't want it to interfere with what I'm going to be building down here. Let's call in. We'll call in the Colossus. I'm just going to call everything in up here. Yep, gravitational anomaly. That's the storm we're going to get. So I don't have to worry about any of the weather or anything like that. We'll call in the roamer. And then we're going to call in the Minotaur. That way we have everything here that I own. Boom. And that way I can access this stuff while I am building. So my Colossus, we'll hop in there real quick. Go to Exocraft. You can see I've got a bunch of ferrite dust and pure ferrite. I've got some silicate powder and magnetized ferrite in there. And then if I get out of that and go over to the roamer, I've got some miscellaneous stuff in the roamer. Exocraft. Yeah, I've got a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in the roamer here as well. I don't know if I'm going to need much of it or anything. Now, granted, I will need that, but I've already got some in there, so I don't have to worry about that. I got a lot of stuff in my inventory. I have also, which we will probably do in the next episode, I have started working on gathering the Exosuit storage upgrades because part of the rules is we have to have the cargo section of our Exosuit maxed out. So I've also found on our first base planet, I found a terminal that will sell me the Exosuit upgrades. So I can go out and find those and charge them and get a free, essentially a free upgrade. Now granted, I had to pay for the little map things. And again, I'll show you that. It'll probably be in the next episode because there's a few things I want to do in the next coming episodes because it seems like I've been doing a lot, but a lot of the same stuff. Searching for ships. I've been doing quite a bit of that just off camera. And there's something I've figured out and found out in gathering ships to also help get nanites. So it's a process that I've kind of been going through because gathering nanites in abandoned mode is probably one of the more difficult things to do. Getting the units, I mean, obviously we've got 1.6 billion units already. That was easy. I mean, you go and find and scrap ships until you have the billion units. That's the easy part. The nanites is the harder part because you don't have a vendor to where you can go and sell upgrades to. So when you have the salvage glass, a lot of times you get upgrade modules there, and in normal and in regular permadeath, you can go to a vendor and sell those and make nanites. It's easy. It's very easy. But in abandoned mode, nanites are hard to come by. I mean, everything gives you nanites, but you're not collecting a bunch of nanites at once. So there's a process that I've been using to go through and help just make a steady amount of nanites during these things. And what I'll do is again, probably the next episode or next couple episodes, I'm going to start going over more of those items. Alrighty. Anyway, talking too much. Let's get to building. I've already put a base terminal here. One, so I could get back to this planet easy. Of course, it's freaking dark. It seems like every time I'm on this planet, it's dark, which is okay. It is what it is. But I want to start building in this area. I want to move my ship out of the way so it's not a problem. Let's put my ship up here as well. Thrusters need to be charged. Really? Oh yeah, 10%. There we go. Now I can move it. Boom. Put that up there. And then we can come down here. And I don't necessarily want to build like right in here, but I want to build just outside. So let me see where the edges of these tents are. And then what we can do is grab... Can I place that there? It does. Oh, I have to have glass. I gotta have glass. It's the one thing I don't have is glass. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Do I have... Hang on. Do I still have... Oh, I don't have any in here. I used to have the frost crystals in here, but I took them out. I did buy another storage unit. Oh, okay. Can I build a storage unit? So it'd be number 1 storage unit. Can I have you just fly on top of that? Because I don't want you to, like, break the ground. Let's just... I'm not even going to color it because he's going to move. Let's just put it there. Let's get this. What do I need? Oh, I need a metal plate. All right, I've got to power that up so I can at least access it. Metal plate. There's one there. Grab this. And if I can place it just right there, that should allow me to reach it and charge it. And it powers that box because it's literally touching the box. Now, can I access the box? Yes, I can access the box. This is so cheesy. And they're not in here. Dang it. What the heck? They're going to be in that other box, aren't they? Okay. Okay. I can solve this. I am totally prepared. Not. Let's see. Can I take that off of fly mode? It will literally clip to the next one. It'll charge. Open. Yes. There they are right there. I knew I had some. Jeez Louise. Okay. We're going to just drop all of those in there because I'm probably going to have to get more. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get more. All right. Holy cow. And I need... this here. Let's go in here. Where is... there it is. What's that going to give me? That's going to give me 3 glass. All right, let's go to do that. Why is that blinking right there? That's weird. Okay, that's going to give us 3 glass, which is fine. What do I need for... this? That's 5 glass, but I don't need any glass for that, but that's okay. We'll get some glass going because we could use it for some of these. Yeah, like that right there. But I am going to get this going. So let's go back here. I sat there and stressed over glass, but I really didn't need to. Let's go into fly mode so I can kind of see this a little bit better. Where is that? So where you're going to set up about there. And then we can... I don't have any pure ferrite on me. Can I reach? So if I'm close to the Colossus, can I reach it? because I do have some in the Colossus, I thought. Alright, let's just put it in my inventory. Yeah, pure ferrite right there. Now that that's active, it might work better. Let's go ahead. We're going to use the square one first. And you know what? I forgot to color anything. So let's go here. Let's color that. Place that on there. Let's go back into here. Let's delete the bottom. That way I can color it to match. Then, can I get around here? Am I going to be too far away from myself? No, I'll be fine. Let's grab a door. It's still colored. It doesn't look colored, but it is colored. Do I have ramps? I do not have ramps. I don't have anything. Oh, I thought I bought some of this stuff. I was totally going to be prepared. I didn't get ramps or nothing for this. Okay. I mean, not a huge deal. I can fix that. But we got a door. At least we can get in. Let's place at least a platform. So at least I can land on this platform and get in. This is going to be so hokey, but there. So I can jump up on that platform at least and get in. Just like that. There we go. Now I'm technically inside. I can do that. Okay. That is what it is. Oh my goodness. Now, I clearly don't have everything I need. I've got to jump to get out. Gosh, dang it. Okay. But I don't have to worry about the weather, but that's fine. We are going to need a teleporter. I'm going to want a landing pad, but I don't want to like cram everything in this spot. So I think what I'm going to do, how much did we got 3 glass. Let's put those in the suit. We'll put that back in the storage. We are going to for right now, I think we're going to use this little tube. We're going to color it, go into fly mode, and then we are going to come off of the 3 sides like that. So this is going to be our main room, and then we can have, I think what I'm going to do is put a teleporter room. Maybe in the back I can have a landing pad on one side, and then I can have like a big storage unit over on the other side. Although I would almost like to have the storage in the back. I think having the storage in the back might even be better. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So for the time being, I'm going to have a round room that I don't have enough stuff for. So I got to get some more ferrite, pure ferrite. Actually, let's put some more of this in my inventory because I have the space now. So pretty much like 3/4 of this stack is a building. Is one of those prefab units. All right, that should be okay for right now. Then we are going to put a round room on the other side. Color it. Fly. No, really fly. Yeah, we're going to put a round room over here. And then can we do a landing pad over here? What do I need? 10 plate and 2 microprocessors. But I probably... I need to buy the trade terminal. That way I can put a trade terminal in this base, because I'm not at the minor settlement anymore. There's not a trade terminal right here. Okay, no biggie. I need 4 plate and nanotubes for this module. I am also going to need to find... Ooh, is there going to be power nearby? That's definitely going to be needed. Okay. Let's see. Is that going to be in this visor? Yes. Okay, so we got a mineral nearby. We got a gas cloud. If that's oxygen, we could pull oxygen to this base too. But there's no power. Okay, we can go up to like 1,000 units before we hit power, before we can't get it back to the base. So it sounds like it's going to be this direction. Let's see if I can locate some power that's not beyond our reach. Oh, here we go. And it's even going to be a B class. That'll be good. I know, storm clearing. That's great. Although I like it because I float a long ways. Are you going to give it to me? It seems like it's been 200 for quite some time. 140. 99. Don't fall in the hole. 50. We found it. Boom. All right, so on the left-hand side, we can see local field strength 71. Let's see if we can get it closer to 73, because that's the maximum. 3, right there. Boom, we're going to drop that right there. Can I make a save beacon? I actually have a save beacon on me. We are going to make it green for power. And I'm going to put it literally right on top of that. Save. That way I can come back to this and it's easier for me to find that location. So I can build the platform for it. Can I reach that? Might as well pick that up because I'm going to need to go buy stuff. And then I need to go to the anomaly. Gather that, gather that. Is there another one? Yes, it's in the tree. But there we go. There's another one. Then what I can do is take those 3, drop them in there, and start processing 150 nanites. That's another thing. I can go out and gather those shards to gather nanites, because 3 of those shards gives you 150 nanites. So what I can do is I can start working on building this base a little bit better. Probably between episodes, kind of work on getting it done, and I can show it to you when I'm done. One thing I want to show you before I leave. So since I literally just mentioned the nanites, what I want to do is show you what I've been doing. So we're going to locate a dissonant spike and find a ship. Perfect. And I probably even have one in my pocket to show you. Yes. So let me gather the nanites from those shards. Let me recharge this. Then you can see that I've picked up a highlight brain. You get these when you find your ships. So what you can do is you can drop this into a refiner, open the refiner. You can see one of these will give you 230 nanites. Now it says 150 over here, but it takes like 25 seconds or something for this to process. You have to leave this window open. Otherwise you won't get the full 230. You'll only get the 150. Now you can see I'm at 100%, but it's still running. I can hear the thing still running. Now that it's done running, you can see I've got 230 of 150. So I've collected 230 nanite clusters out of that highlight brain that you get out of the ships. And then I just drop it into my inventory, and then it goes into my nanite stacks up here. So what I've been doing, and I will go find this ship real quick that we had just located, if I can find the marker for it. Oh, there it is, right there. I have been only collecting A-class ships because I currently have an A-class ship, so I get A-class upgrades out of A-class ships. The C and B class ships that I find, I just take the goodies out of them and I don't keep the ship. I don't claim the ship. I don't go and change the highlight brain or anything. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me go to this location real quick. Now I know that this ship has orange on it and I hate the orange, but at this point in time, I don't care. Because I needed to build bases and I'm still hunting ships. So it is what it is. Now, once I acquire an S-class ship through normal means, then I can go to the anomaly and I can acquire one of the reward ships from like the expeditions. But you cannot acquire a reward ship from the expeditions until you acquire an S-class ship normally in the game, whether it's through finding the Sentinel ships or you're finding other crash ships and repairing them and stuff like that. Or you upgrade the class. Now, the upgrading of the class takes a ton of nanites. A ton. So be mindful of that. Now, this particular ship is a C class, so it's perfect for what I'm talking about. So I go over here. I will gather or destroy the item out of the recycled unit behind. So the little mechanical head that's behind the ships. So the pugnium I use for launch fuel. Now, if you right click quick enough, you can get out of that dialogue before it even starts. Then, alrighty, so I had a quick hiccup while I was recording. Apparently I ran out of disk space while I was recording. So apparently I wasn't staying on top of that. But anyway, I believe I got it in before it shut off. I collected the items out of this guy here, which was just some pugnium. And then I can go over to the ship itself. You can see it's a C-class ship. So I will gather the salvage glass. I don't necessarily need to keep the pugnium. I've got a ton of it. So I can use my middle mouse button and delete it. And then the highlight brain, I'm going to throw it in my exosuit. And then we're going to back out of that and go back to our ship. Because, I mean, if you're not on a planet that, or if you're on a planet that has hazards that you need, you know, to watch, there's no sense in standing outside. But we can hit escape, go into your log, and you can see that I've got a couple of these ships where I need to find the ship or get the brain and go do all the stuff to collect the ship. Well, I can abandon that. Matter of fact, I'll abandon both of them. I am not picking that ship up. I don't care to keep it or scrap it because I've already got 1.6 billion units. I've already achieved that portion of this particular series. Then what I can do is go open my Exosuit, excuse me, and find the Highlight Brain, which is right here in my inventory. Again, I can drop it into my personal refiner and keep this window open while you're refining this. You can see it only takes like 25 seconds or something. It's going to get to 100%, and then you literally wait until it finishes. Don't gather this as soon as it hits 100. Wait until it finishes. You're going to hear the little machine running, and then it'll stop. Right there. So everything stopped processing. The Highlight Brain disappeared from over here. You now have 230 of 150. So you can gather more than the 150. Same thing goes for your inverted mirrors. So you can see here, I've got stacks of inverted mirrors. Now, if you put your inverted mirrors in, again, drop it in there. You want to leave this window open. You can see one mirror gives you 95 nanite clusters, but the game is telling you can only collect 150. So this is going to process 2 of these mirrors and give you the appropriate nanite cluster collection. However, once it reaches 95, it will light up, so don't pick it up yet. You want to leave this open. You're going to see this go to 100%. And it's going to continue running for a few seconds longer. Let it continue to run until it stops, just like the Highlight Brain. There we go. It stopped, and you can see I'm collecting 190 of 150 clusters. So then you can drop those in your Exosuit. That goes into your nanite collection, and then you have 1 left, and then you process that other one to get another 95. So this is what I've been doing while hunting ships. So I hunt for the ship. If it's a C or B class, I just take the goodies out of it. I process the Highlight Brain. I gather any shards that are near the ship. I gather any inverted mirrors that are near the ship, and I process those into nanites as I'm going along. Then I go on to the next ship and I do the same thing. So essentially, I'm getting... let's do the math on that. Let's see. Let me pull my calculator out real quick. And if we're doing the Highlight Brain, that's 230. Then if we are doing the 3 radiant shards, that's 150. So that's 230 plus 150, which is 380 nanites. Then if we do the 3 stack of inverted mirrors, which is 95 times 3, that's 285 plus the 380 we got out of the Highlight Brain and the shards. With each ship collection, you should be collecting 665 nanites at the minimum. Now, granted, obviously, you can collect more if you're getting more shards. You can also collect shards as you're going. So that way, you can even go and do a whole big session of collecting shards and mirrors or whatever, and then just stand in your base and process them. But I've been processing the shards, the mirrors, and the Highlight Brains while I'm hunting for a better class ship. So with any luck in doing this, I will either A, find an S-class ship, or B, collect enough nanites to where I can do the upgrades. Now, let me head to the space station real quick, and I'll show you what it's going to cost to do those upgrades. Alrighty, so I flew up to the space station. We're going to go to the ship outfitting terminal here. Now, I already have an A-class ship. If I wanted to upgrade my Starship, you can apply an augmentation, which I have some, but I don't want to use on this ship. You can purchase storage space, so like the cargo or technology slots, for 124 million units. I don't recommend doing this. Then you can upgrade your class. It's going to cost me 125,000 nanites to upgrade this ship from A class to S class. Now, that is definitely a viable option. It just takes time. So I can go through, collect my ships, refine the highlight brain, the radiant shards, and the inverted mirrors as I'm going, just to collect the nanites. I did this last night for about, I think about an hour, very casually. I was not rushing. I was talking to people. I was watching videos. So it was very casual, and I gathered about 10,000 nanites in about an hour's time. So it's very feasible. You just keep doing it. Just don't stop. Like, you know, if you have trouble multitasking, then that might, you know, hinder how much you're making. But you can also do the same thing in upgrading your multi-tool. So if you have a pretty decent multi-tool and you're like, you know what, I don't mind spending the nanites to upgrade the multi-tool, you can do the same thing at the multi-tool station. Now, my multi-tool is currently a B class. So if we get to here, yeah, you can install slots, purchase a new slot, or upgrade. Now, for me to go from B class to A class, it's going to be 62,000 nanites. If you're going to go from A class to S class, I want to say that's going to be like 90,000 nanites or something like that. It's almost as much as a ship, if not the same price. So you're easily looking at over 200,000 nanites to upgrade from A class to S class on both your tool and your ship. So keep that in mind. I know it sounds like a lot of nanites, and in abandoned mode, it is a lot of nanites because you just don't come by nanites as easily as you do everything else. Now, I know that I had mentioned that I was probably going to talk about this stuff in a different video, but because I was unprepared for the building, I kind of just shifted gears and went ahead and showed you this. But this is what I was going to show you in the next episode anyway. So what I will do, since we're going to be calling this an episode, is I am going to go and be more prepared for building that new base in the next episode, and then I'll cover building that base in the next episode. For whatever reason, I thought I had already purchased the modules and everything that I needed for all the building, but apparently I didn't. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to gather some more salvage data. I'm going to go to the anomaly. I'm going to buy the plans that I need to properly build that base and put storage and stuff in there. And that base is essentially going to be my, I'm doing air quotes, storage base. So I'm going to have all the storage units at that base only. I won't put a ton of storage units at any other base, unless I just find a really cool spot. But I think this is probably a pretty cool spot as it is. It's a paradise planet. We got the memory stones I can collect. We got the radiant shards because it's dissonant. We can collect ships. I can pretty much do everything on this planet. But anyway, I appreciate everybody joining me today. If you're finding these, if you're liking these episodes, definitely hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Also, feel free to join my Discord, share your adventures with me on there. There is a No Man's Sky channel within my Discord. The link is in the description below. Also, feel free to go and visit some of my other guide videos and everything, especially if you're new or returning to the game. But anyway, I appreciate everybody being here today, and we will see you in the next one. You take care, and happy hunting.